All right, everybody, this is a bit of a heavy subject, but we need to say these things because we need to bring everything out to light if it is possible and is safe. Now, this is Eilene, who is a VTuber. They have been a VTuber since 2014. Of course, take all of this with a grain of salt. Like I'm saying, viewer discretion is advised because this is kind of a heavy subject. And just, take the news as it is and make your own decisions out of everything. She pioneered everything. Pretty much she pioneered VTubing, and she was known as one of the most important ones on earth behind Kizuna. But she was there before Kizuna was, and she did it in 2014, and Kizuna, I think, started in 2015. Now, here's where we get started. She says, I'm thinking of blank. I sold a certain VTuber office H to a Chinese man in 2022, but this man threatened me. He'd have to be unpaid with more than 20 million yen and forced me to pay 40 million yen. This is their side of the story. Let's hear their side of the story first. The translated goes here. It says, suddenly, but this is a farewell letter. I believe I will blank soon. I have been defrauded by a Chinese man and subjected to threats of over 20 million yen in unpaid amounts and 40 million yen if I don't quietly accept it. Due to numerous threats from this Chinese man, I can no longer live without medication. While the medication is effective, I feel drowsy when its effects wear off. I'm overwhelmed by panic and anxiety leading to blank impulses. Details: in 2022, I established a VTuber agency called H, and agency's annual revenue reached 100 million yen. However, I fell seriously ill and sold the agency to a man I met in Shenzhen, China. He belonged to China's super rich class. His father is the head of state-owned enterprise, and his mother is one of the leaders of the Fujian provincial government, and I trusted them. However, after the sale post-closing, and for a year and a half, he continuously withheld payments from the live streamers I was covering for him, and consistently insulted them. Examples: all live streamers, small brains, stupid, bees. Trash like them can't survive in society. Small brain. These people have low EQ. I want to fire them, etc. Too many to list. Please forgive the omissions. Moreover, until 2024, despite promises and signed contracts, he has never provided me with profit or loss statement. Currently, he owes me over 20 million yen. I have urged him several times due to financial insecurity, but he consistently evaded with excuses like, wait in a few days, I caught a cold, wait a few days. And recently, when I demanded payment again, he resorted to threatening me. Examples: I will make you suffer. I hate you, so I'll do anything. I'll make a big fuss. Do you know what will happen? Don't think it'll be over, even if you go to court. Afterward, he added, if you don't like that, settle for half. Come on, decide quickly, or the amount will decrease rapidly. And other threats. I have completely broken down mentally, and now I can't survive without the medication. The worst condition in my life, and the medication side effects are those, bad thoughts. He has previously mentioned things like using slightly expensive method, making companies write defamatory remarks on bulletin boards, and manipulating public opinion. Feeling my life is threatened in an unsolvable way, I have sought advice from several lawyers. They have told me that it's very advantageous. There is little the other party can do, but also mentioned that even if you win in court, you cannot seize assets. And question, is he even at his address in China? Is that address genuine? Essentially, I'm told that I have no choice but to accept the situation. I can no longer blank. I can't protect what needs protection. I am consulting the police about threats, but I don't know what the extent the Japanese police will respond. Surely no one will help me. Probably won't be blank soon. Some may say this is China. This is what Chinese people do. But it's not that kind of issue. By exposing his actions, anyone could potentially suffer the same fate. I hope the information can be useful even after I'm gone. In conclusion, even if I come to the threats and blank my life, only regret is my family. Please, if there's someone who can help, please help. Eilene. Now, Eilene, of course, sees themselves as just an anime girl. In IRL, they have verified that they are a male, but that is not consequential to this whole thing. I just thought that it should be mentioned. Moving on, she mentioned that she had made a video and she made it public. She put it on her Twitter, and the video goes forward with saying that Eilene will let everybody know their name if they happen to pass away, and also that Mr. G was doing some harassment towards her, and furthermore, that in these pixelated messages that he was disparaging both the members of H-Live and H.Live and the members of the management team of H.Live. Of course, we cannot verify because, everything here is pixelated. And further on, beyond that, they showed the medication that they're taking and that they've taken a lot of it, say it's helping, but she feels that they're failing. They feel that they're failing at this moment, and that they have also gone to talk to korekore, to DM korekore out of advice from other DMs that she's been receiving. I think that's not maybe the best choice because he is the Japanese Keemstar. He is a dude who, in order to get a view, he will do a lot. At least that's what I've heard from him. So this is another thing that I don't think she's making a good choice. And this is, of course, korekore, the one that did with Mafu, very famous right now with Mafu and the Rushia situation. Moving on to messages from G, the person that she mentioned as G. They talked to Falseyed, which is a person who does a lot of news things. These are all courtesy of Falseyed. Thank you so much for providing these things. He had good business, which can earn well. As you can see, remember, Eilene is a male, but just says is an anime girl because, of course, VTubers, we have our own anime persona. I'll respect what they see themselves as, so I will probably continue to saying she. I'll just say what it says here. But it was all lies. First, he never went for those M&A agencies. The M&A agencies means merger and acquisition. As far as my research goes, that was much later. The only place he went, he lied to the M&A agencies. And also, this is e-production from Eilene themselves, saying the management and acquisition agency, also I want to be fair and don't want to give you premium price just because you like H Live. What's important for me is that you have a good chemistry with H Live. I believe you do. Anyways, here's the price in Japanese management and acquisition agencies offered me. And there's, the whole thing about 1 million yen, I think, or like, I don't know, a lot of money basically. And he goes back to tell false. As you can see, I asked my talents to set most of their stream archives private, which yes, most of the ones that are on H Live are private at this moment. So that is true. Also, it says, anyway, what really happened was Eilene scammed me and he intended to do so from the beginning, I'm afraid. I was his fan, so I didn't know much about what he said and didn't double check a lot of the info he gave me, so I believe the pic he painted and the group H Live got. I just lost 3 of Gen 1 members at the same time. So, well, according to Eilene, they tried to steal his knowledge and went indie. Those 3 gens had about 85% of the revenue of H Live. So G, after getting everything, lost 85% of the revenue of H Live because 3 people left. What I thought was Eilene's knowledge and connections, even though we lost 85% of revenue, management acquisition agencies rated the business so high it couldn't be wrong. I was dead wrong because firstly, he simply lied. He never got into contact with any of those M&A agencies. The only one he lied to them and hid the fact that 3 talents just left and sent the lawyer a letter for termination. So they sent a letter for termination, he lied, all those types of things were there. Second lie at the very beginning, despite what Eilene claimed on live, H Live was not a company. It was never registered as a company, all the talents were contractors with him, and there was no banking tax system. The management was him and one other part-time manager with 140k yen monthly income. A fresh graduate of JP earns about 200k monthly yen. One Fantia customer support member below, I believe at the time, can only earn 100k or below. And one little thing mentioned here is that then the outsource of 3 Miku Miku Doga, which Miku Miku Dance, basically workers, and for the skeleton group, H Life had 7 talents. Before I took over, 3 quit altogether. So now he has 4 talents. Eilene told me that this crew is why business is so successful, profitable. Even just 2 weeks ago, that's on tape, when I confronted him, he was still insisting this. While in reality, I have screenshots and other proof that talents left because Eilene always claimed he is sick and took days off for him to come back to talents. The only manager also doesn't even reply within a day after I took over the situation, was pretty much the same, so he lied about the group's operation. So basically the group is not as good. The third lie he told me was about contracts. As I mentioned above, H Live was not a company, it was his freelance business, so all the contracts he had with his talents were with him. But according to JP Law, once he sold his freelance businesses to me, it closed down, so all previous contracts he had with the talents will become void. Moving on, he mentions, as a matter of fact, I learned about very late from one of the lawyers who was handling the conflict with H Live. Yes, there are 5 cases, 4 were ongoing when I told her OMFG, and since he dumped this S on me, all of his conflicts became mine. Well, but the most important part is he never knew that he had literally got nothing, because all the contracts will go void if the talents don't want to say they don't have to. In reality, out of 4 remaining talents they got from H Live, the top earner at the beginning never resigned with me and quit in the 23rd of April, and much earlier in the rest of 3 who also are active. And when confronted on this on tape, Eilene literally said, I told you, you better resign the contract, you better stop the contract, basically. When confronted with this on tape, Eilene literally said, I told you you'd better resign the contract, but he never told me the contracts he had with girls will not be inherited. Most of these were lies he told at the very beginning. With all those above, I made a very dumb decision. That the bad decision was to buy H Live with told price of more than 80 million yen. The deal was like this. I buy 50% of H Live revenue with 30 million yen, I still have 50% left. And total, you get 100% when he pays 80 million, plus the 50% of the time spent with him, 80 million yen, just to clarify, just being full out there. And when I took over the group, the revenue with 4 members left with roughly 2 million yen per month, give or take. I can show the numbers later, and half with all going to talents. So if I stop monetizing the members who left, it will take me at least 100 plus months to even pay back the debts. So that's a long time. That's like almost 10 years. And half the year for free in this video, and also paid for talents for forum long because I didn't. It's a total lie. All that stuff basically is a total lie. You see, the case as a foreigner without the long-term visa, I cannot open any bank accounts in Japan specifically. And H Live is not a company, so there's no company bank account. As a foreign citizen, I can start a Japanese company alone. So I have to find someone to start the company with me. And that's where Eilene comes in. If a VTuber quit or graduates, Usually as management, we are supposed to close down the accounts, right? But no, using existing leftover voice, etc. to keep pumping out content on Fantia, aka Japanese OnlyFans, pretending they only got through long hiatus, and keep getting the money from members who already quit. So this is him claiming that she still kept things going on Fantia, that Eilene kept things going on Fantia to still getting more money, because there was literally no way for me to get the money away from due to Fantia. So yeah, basically saying he lost money because they were making money on Fantia. Fantia is the main income, but they don't send to China due to Chinese regulations. The firm can only send money within Japan because of tax regulations, so as a result, all H Live money was held by them, not me. I only got paid twice in the first 3 months, then from 2022 to May 2023 in August, I never got my 50%. And I guess he's talking to False ID. Payment, he worked for free for 15 months, yet you go look at what this MFer said in the video. Oh, I don't pay my talents. They worked for free. Like what? He literally said he only helped you for a month. He's the victim, LMFAO. And then False ID asked him, if he actually did insult the talents. And he said yes, because he was very desperate and the talents all know about these. This happened in late 2022 or early 2023 because I felt it was the end of the world. Me with 80 million debt. And I just tell them, hey, you sold me a piece of S. It's hopeless. I want to fire everyone and quit. As a form of protest and also as a form of ranting. Talents know these once the vid came out. And he apologized. Also, this is basically going over the same thing that I just mentioned. He originally paid 10 million yen for 50% of the revenue. Then he needed to pay him 20 million yen more for the end of 2023 for just 50%, while he can collect 50% all the time. And to get to 100%, I need to pay him 80 million debt in total, plus the 50% he can collect. For example, 50% was 30 million yen, 40 million yen, he gets to own 60 till he gets to the 80%. Well, as long as I don't pay the debt. Yes, it was phrased that way. So you can imagine, this is like probably never pay him back with investment. So basically they were saying that they were trying to pay them back, and they weren't going to ever be able to pay them back, and Eilene was going to continue getting money off of this. He wanted to keep it about 43 million yen, but he spent about 30 million yen on the whole situation, and Eilene wanted 50 million yen according to that to finish everything off. Just to basically cut everything off, cut their ties, and then just be gone with it. Also, he said everything including managed talents are used as morons and want to fire them and quit the business because it's hopeless. And yes, talents and managers know this. He apologized to them beforehand. He reiterated it. I don't know what talents think of me, but it's also low to take these out of context. I don't care what he said. You can ask my talents how I treated them. They get 50% of the revenue while I subsidize all the fees. Again, continuing to say, he's a good person. And, the larger text arts, sometimes just one of the talents commissioned get more than 20% of the total revenue. They get 50% of the whole revenue while they subsidize all the fees. And of course, Live 2D, music videos, all of them make roadmaps for them. He helped Live 2D designs. I do care a lot about the talents, and before this happened, 2023 and 2024, I could say we were among the most wholesome VTuber groups. Again, we know that can be false a lot of times. We have a dedicated ex-VTuber, 26k subs manager, who was just there for mental care. While Eilene, he didn't care for anything. He told Eilene, if they can't settle, then they will sue. And there is no S harassment, not in any way. As you can ask all of my talents, I can totally prove everything. Eilene is supposedly being sued by one H-Live member who asked for 4 million yen for compensation, even as late as 2022. There are still lawyers that are coming to me, the virtual office of H-Live for mail. So since he's the H-Live person right now, they are suing Eilene for that money, and he gets those emails from them. They can't find Eilene on the phone. I can't record, he didn't record that one, but that's exactly why he supposedly always hides in China. The lawyer that Mr. G got speculated that he's trying to avoid a lot of stuff, multiple lawsuits. That's why he's so afraid if I go to court, because if I was the one at the wrong, why not settle the law with the laws? He's very happy to do so, as you can see from previous screenshots. Like he says, he's done nothing wrong, he got scammed, and he wants to settle things out of court. Yes, he insulted the talents, but he'd say that he cares more about them than any other lewd VTuber groups, and he never harassed them. And about the hate remarks that he was asked about, no, he never said any hate. He never sent any kind of harassment to her. All he said was, go F yourself with your lies. I'm done here. We can settle all our offers in court. He never said any of the bad stuff. Why would I? He feels that he can win in court. It's him. He doesn't care about anything. He's hiding in China and thinking if I can find him, I cannot sue. So moving on, he says, from the talents and the people who know me and Eilene both, I don't think anyone is on his side. All they can do is lie and put up a defamation piece. For what? The defamation piece, why does he have to do that? Doesn't know. Told him we should settle this in court. If you can win, why do this? Why do the defamation? And this is very unlike the Mafu situation, since he has proof, he says. Most of what he said is blatant lies talking about Eilene. There's zero proofs. The only thing that really happened was he ranted about talents and crews when he was desperate. He told him he's not going to pay him as a contract because it's a scam. He can settle this with him, but he can't do the amount he asked, which was the 50 million yen. He was the OG, the pioneer of YouTube. That is why he was blind to the whole situation. Another thing is, For everyone, VTubing business partners and whatever, they were exploited by Eilene. He promises he will end this right here and now, and he will to let him be the last victim. He doesn't talk S about people and learn to control your emotions. I guess that's the main lesson. Don't talk S about people. This is his biggest regret. I don't know if my talents will forgive me, but I just need to do better talking about the words that he said about him. And when asked about what he's going to be doing in the future, he says he's going to sue them. Why not? That was the plan all along. And maybe make it not just a civil case, but a criminal one. Since he lied about the sexual harassment talents and everything like that, I have nothing to be afraid of, unlike him. He feels he did nothing wrong. He wants to settle this in court. He was the one in the black with no knowledge, no connections, no idea how to run YouTube, pour my heart into this. And, you know, of course, he says more things, which is he works day and night just to try to make it maybe pay him off. But there's no way. He decided to come forward and say no to all the other stuff. And when asked if he has any other forms of income, he says yes, he does have other forms of income. H Live took over the life, but every day is about no break, no payment. Always panic for getting banned. Yes, because there's spicy stuff that gets done on YouTube by them. Need to learn how to run an agency without even proper business structure remotely in another country. Can you imagine what he's been through? And this is his words, as far as I can tell, most of the words that are from him. And of course, take everything that he said with a grain of salt, and everything that was said by Eilene with a grain of salt as well. We don't know the situation from each of their perspectives, just what they've told us. And the messages, of course, like I said before, is all credit to Falseyed, who had a conversation with G, the person named as G, in the Discord calls that he had, in the Discord access that he had to them. This is all Falseyed, of course, who did all this, who did the Discord calls. And like I said, you know, take everything with a grain of salt. Just see both sides and see the way that you want to see it, see the way that interpret it in your own lens, as I interpret it in mine. I just try and bring you the evidence out here. Of course, I'm going to leave it at this. This is the Mad Salvi. Check the comment section down below to, you know, comment on the situation. Let me know what you think. I want to know what you're thinking about this. This is a crazy situation. And also check the description down below for all of my socials, my Twitter at _mad_salvi, or the _mad. And check the description down below for all of my socials down there, my Twitter, my Discord, you know, subscribing to this channel, and also liking this channel. All that stuff is in the description. And finally, I want you guys to take a look at what's on your screen, because there's going to be a video here that might be interesting to you. As well as just take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. If you ever need to take a break, take a break. No one's going to blame you. And just have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.